to ask a question. I haven't even asked Jalen the first question. Linda, you're next. Lovely Linda is next. Jalen, what inspired you to go tell that this way?
So my biggest inspiration was really when Naida, I believe that's Naida, when her testimony, when I recorded her testimony, I knew that I wanted to make a film. And at first, my intention with coming out last year was to make a music video, but just seeing how you guys were interacting, and I felt like I was one of you all, like during that 4 days. So I'm like, I have my camera, and I'm like, I might as well just pretend like my camera is a member of this group. And that's kind of the intention I took while making this film. I watched this film called Hills County this morning, and that was kind of the first example of a documentary in which there weren't really any sit-down interviews that I had seen. And that was definitely my biggest inspiration in terms of a film. Also, there's a film called Black Panthers from the 60s by Agnes Varda. And she did a really good job of capturing that movement live, like while they're doing everything. And I kind of wanted to use that same kind of technique and style for this film.
So I will share with you all that when Jalen first told me that he was really inspired by during last year's play date to do a documentary, I was like, okay, great, Beyond the Ropes Part 2. And he said, no, it's going to be totally different. He said, there are not going to be any sit-down interviews. It's not going to be anything that's staged. It's really just going to be seeing you all in motion. He said, I want to show sisterhood in motion. And I said, no. That's not how it works. You need to do interviews, you need some voiceovers, you need us talking about different stuff. And he was like, that's not my vision. Right. And I was like, well, I'm just trying to explain to you what kind of stuff we want to see. And he said, Mom, you're going to have to trust me because this is the way I want to tell this story. So how y'all think it was? I must admit, I have been wrong once or twice. So now that I have officially seen the finished product on the big screen, you were right.
I've been waiting for that for months, just so you guys know. I feel like the way I shot this movie, I wanted everybody who was watching, including you guys, to be able to take part in it. And I really feel like even just seeing you guys' reactions in the theaters, you guys were all like really there. And I really love that. So thank you guys for really just having fun while we were watching this together.
Lovely Linda, do you have a question?
Yes, so you kind of asked the question for me, but there was another question. Will you be entering this documentary into the regional image?
Into what?
Regional image.
I haven't necessarily thought about that, but I feel like it'd be a good idea, yeah. I was right now just mostly thinking about other film festivals to submit to starting like next week, but the regional Emmys would be really cool. Yeah. That is to be determined right now, but I would imagine in the first half of 2026.
Something.
Yeah, let me answer your second question first. We're planning to have a screening in Arizona later on this year, as well as in Dallas for the big jump in Dallas. Those are some, and we want to do it in New York and Los Angeles as well. But we don't have those last two aren't set in stone yet. But the other three we should be good to go sometime later this year. Can you real quick? Can you remind me the other questions?
Well, she asked about how many states are represented. So we have not done a tally of how many states are represented here today, but we do have sub clubs in almost every major city in the United States, and we have members in other countries as well. So we don't know who all's here yet, but we're gonna find out tomorrow at the play date. We're gonna do a roll call tomorrow, so we'll let you know.
Well, we'll do that at the play date. How long did it take you to make the documentary, do the whole thing?
So it took from the time I shot this, which was last year around this time, was it the beginning of September?
The play date was August 31st.
Okay, yeah, it was around that time is when I shot it, and I finished it earlier in July. So almost a year. I thought it was still July right now. I finished it right before my birthday, which was July 11th. So I would say it took 10 months to do this. And this is the first project that I've really spent this long.
Did you graduate from Columbia to see film school?
No, I graduated from Arizona State University, Sidney Poitier New American Film School in 2023. So a couple years ago. And I was looking into Columbia when I was in high school, but my biggest reason for wanting to go to Arizona State was mainly to be farther away from home and because the weather's really, really nice. Yeah.
Why should I take that? I was like, this is the weather.
Look how great you turned out.
Hi, Jalen. I'm Valerie from Pullman Sub Club. I'm just wondering, you as a man, what makes you what keeps you interested? This is an awesome movement, don't get me wrong, but what keeps you interested in filming this movement and so interested in the movement? Basically, that's what I'm hearing.
Well, my biggest thing is I've seen firsthand how this movement has affected my mom, going through everything that she's gone through and that she went through at a certain time period. So I can only imagine a lot of the things that you all have gone through, and seeing you guys push through these things and these obstacles and these hurdles and still maintaining this sisterhood and able to come once a week, hour, 2 hours out of the day with all you guys, just that's super inspiring to me. So I'm really drawn to anything that is like inspiring, because like I need that for myself as like a young man. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, Jackie.
Hi, I'm Jackie Williams, and I'm from moving forward, is your intent possibly to film every play date?
Maybe.
Or to make a documentary, because he does come and film every play day. He's here every play day.
I would say I would really try to film almost each play date every year as this keeps going. But I mean, I feel like I might get busy I don't know. Well, that's just for the future. Like, you know, like, but I would love to, for sure. And it has been crazy, like, cause I've missed like 2 of them after going to the first one and seeing it last year. Yeah, I missed a couple. That's why, like, seeing it last year, everything was so new and so different and way bigger. So I feel like if I miss a couple more, the next 2, like by the 8th anniversary, it's gonna be huge, and like that's gonna be inspiring to see. But yeah, that could be a goal for sure. I always have fun coming out here and filming you guys.
I don't have a question, but Jalen, I do want to say thank you. And the reason why I'm saying thank you, you're a young man, and you hang out with your mom and her girlfriend. I mean, so much more that you can be filming, so much more that you can be doing. But you want to do this for us old ladies, and I call myself old ladies. But I do say that.
Of course.
But before we get to the family, I do want to say that Jalen does spend a lot of time telling our stories, but he does a lot of other things as well. He's done a lot of independent film, and he's working on a big project now, a musical that I guess he can talk about after we do a few more questions.
So my question is, you said that you had so much footage. How do you choose what to put in your documentary?
Hours, days, weeks of just combing through every shot that I took. And just seeing how I would imagine the response could be based on like what's on frame, and trying to compile it as best as I can. Really, it took a really long time just getting everything together. Like just making my first like rough cut took a couple months.
He now likes editing.
Tamiko Evans from East Atlanta, Georgia. But I do visit all over. Anyway, my question for you, Jalen. So I really love what you're doing and everything and all the documentaries. But have you ever thought about making an actual movie from the beginning, from when your mom started, of how she was feeling up until like what's going on right now?
I definitely would love to shoot a movie, like an actual, like Beyond the Ropes, like 40 plus Double Dutch Club biopic. But I definitely at the same time want to shoot other narrative projects first to establish myself as a filmmaker by myself. But I will, this is part of my plan. I want to come back and shoot a movie about this story.
I want some Lathan to play me.
Hey. Also, you guys may not have noticed in the credits, but Katrina's daughter Amaya was a huge and intricate part of the documentary as well. All those pictures that you saw were her pictures that she took last year. So yeah, definitely big thanks to Amaya for this.
So mine is more of a comment. What is your name, man? And where are you from? Molly from Chicago, Pullman. So I just wanted to say congratulations, because I just think about how much you've grown from Beyond the Ropes documentary, and you thought it was like super lame. And so I guess now we're interested enough to film. And I just want to say, I don't know why, because I'm not really an emotional person, but I don't know, my favorite part was you capturing your Aunt Paula, because I was so happy watching her jump. And I didn't see you Paula jump and go terribly for like, and then to watch her go and stay in the rope that long and you pointing her out, and I just like, I just thought it was like a really great part. So I just like that you captured that, because people are all over shit trying to jump. You had two older sisters that didn't teach you how to jump.
I had to be sure to show Paula and Portia for this one, because I remember they kept telling me how upset they were that they weren't in Beyond the Ropes. So I wanted them to have their moment. Yeah, Portia was jumping with Katrina downtown. Yep.
Katrina's background dance. Hi, I'm calling from Evergreen Park. Jason, how did you come up with the title, Don't Tell That?
So actually, my mom came up with this title. She came up with the title from our pastor, Pastor Moss at Trinity United Church of Christ, after a sermon of his, and I think that might have been like the main words of the sermon were like going and telling that. And that was at the time where we were trying to come up with a good name. We didn't have many great names yet, and she came up to me with that name. I was like, yeah, this is the one for sure.
And because we really do want to make sure that not only are we telling and sharing our testimonies and our stories, we want to tell people about this movement that is allowing us to tell our stories and our testimonies. So we want to tell everybody about somebody who's doing something for everybody. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. So go tell that, y'all.
Okay.
Two more people.
We got one up front, right?
We got mom here, and because we haven't really got decided as well. So okay, three more. We got one up here. Okay, so three more. The mother of the movement. Give it up, y'all. Wow, I just want to say this has been totally amazing. I've known Jalen since forever.
What a weird.
Students is such an amazing professional level. But I do have to say about Ms. Paula and that jumping. The backstory, which you can find out if you read the book, that's the diaries, is that Paula was sitting in the corner reading a book when they were jumping, and that was her preferred activity. So the movement has helped her to develop, just watching you all and realizing that you all were willing to be patient enough to teach her, because they showed her at that captured moment, but trust me, the pulling ladies had her in their driveway, teaching her, working with her. She had a quite a bit of boosting before you all learned how to teach people how to jump in 5 minutes or less. So yeah, so that's amazing, and she was very, very encouraged and inspired by you all and watching you and knowing that it was going to be okay, and she was going to be able to do it. And you can see the joy that it brought her.
One more time, give it up for the mother of the movement. Last year was my first year coming to the play date. And to see all the memories, I'm here today because of last year. What inspired me, what really hit me was the lady that mentioned, remember the distinct. I had 2 plays, 25 plays in my hand. I told my family I was going to join them with a stick bag. Like, Mom, be real. I've been jumping for 2 years now. I'll be here. But I'm doing it. I thank everybody for, Pam and Katrina came to Sunday that I joined. No, to Orlando. And I wasn't going to join. I came, I saw, and I said, I'm 60-something years old. These little girls don't want that. And when she told her story, I felt that she was telling my story because it was identical. 20 years of marriage, we walked away. I didn't know who I was. I had been somebody's mother. I had been somebody's sister. I had been a wife. I never knew who Lisa was. It's now 20 years later. And I still grieve, but it's a different grief because I can come out on Sunday. There you go.
Of course, I'm really glad that you're able to take that and put your own story into it. That's the whole goal of this, really. We had one more up here.
I just want to say this is my first time for the jump, and watching the film, you touch like the laugh and the crying, like every single emotion that we go through was all put together in that one film. They did an excellent job. One thing I like you to do, our older people, I need a little song.
That was what I was
So
thinking.
if there's any way you can like know the words, so
Definitely. Yeah, I've been asking my mom and stuff like if that was fine. She thought it was, but I do know that some people like read a little bit like slower, and sometimes the words did come. They weren't the same amount of time each time. So like sometimes they'd be longer, sometimes they wouldn't. But yeah, of course, I can make that longer for y'all for sure.
it was really good. I really enjoyed it very much, like watching it because it's like wow, like when you singing, like you say, people singing with it, it was just like wow, just everything. So congratulations on both films that you've done and everything you're doing, and just being family, bringing along stuff, like a lot of your friends, they don't hang out with their moms.
Yeah.
Like boys don't hang out with their moms. So getting like sitting there and hang out.
No, I feel you. Yeah.
Not hanging out like that, but it's like we're here and we sing and watching us and just being a part of it. You know, so he could be like somewhere else doing something else, not really, you know, into this, but you're there. So, like, I appreciate that. If I have to see that, like, I've been trying to drag to stuff. But thank you.
Yeah, of course.
You know what? I just want to say that since you said you mentioned Jalen. One thing we need to praise God for all three of them. Because of the we see that was a good and the time her oldest son and C. Jordan. She all over the place. She's everywhere. A lot of these designers are really spearheaded by her. And then now we have baby boy. So just to give the pictures to I can never not thank God for putting us here, for putting us all together, and for leading me to the training that day in 2016. We put God in storm, but if it had not been for her yes, we would not be here, we would not have two documentaries featuring us, and we wouldn't even know each other, most of us. So I have to thank you every single time we have a failure, because all of it is not good for her.